Olloudius, or Olloudios, was a Celtic god of agriculture, fertility and abundance in southern Gaul. His cult flourished between the Iron Age and Roman era. The Romans equated Olloudius to Mars, their god of war. Evidence of Mars Olloudios was also found at Gloucestershire in southern England. Olloudius means great tree or giant tree in Gaulish. His name suggested devotees worshipped Olloudius in the form of a sacred oak tree. The cult of Olloudius flourished at coastal towns such as Antibes in southern France. Two inscriptions at Antibes invoked the Romano-Celtic god, Mars Olloudius. The inscriptions honored Olloudios as the guardian spirit, or genius loci, of the region. The Romans often paired Mars with Celtic deities of fertility and healing. Mars was one of the older Roman gods of agriculture. He later transformed into a deity of war. The spring rituals dedicated to Mars in Rome and Italy echoed his role as an ancient guardian of the land. The town of Antipolis, or present-day Antibes, was founded by the Greek colonists at Massalia between the 4th and 5th centuries BC. Massalia is now known as Marseille in France. Antibes became a center of trade for merchants operating in the Mediterranean Sea region during the Iron Age. The inhabitants of Antibes regarded the Romans as their allies. They sought help from the Romans when local tribes attacked Antibes in the 2nd century BC. The Gauls and Greeks in and around Antibes enthusiastically embraced the Romans as their new overlords. Southern Gaul became part of the Roman Empire during the 2nd century BC. The Romans referred to the territory as the province of Gallia Narbonensis. Antibes transformed into a bustling port by the 1st century BC. The Romans built temples, monuments and aqueducts to facilitate the expansion of trade with the empire. The warm climate of Gallia Narbonensis attracted Roman colonists to the region. The province became famous for its vineyards and olive trees. Devotees solicited the goodwill of Mars Olloudius as a deity of farming, fertility and prosperity in the Gallo-Roman era. A votive inscription on a plaque at the small port of Thiel solicited the goodwill of the god with the words, Mars Olloudios, the all-prosperous. A devotee also dedicated an inscription to Mars Olloudius at the town of Aix in Provence, in southern France. Historians believe the Gauls recruited into the Roman army were responsible for bringing the cult of Olloudius to Britain. A carving and inscription honoring Mars Olloudios adorned the gable of a temple at Custom Scrubs, Bisley in Gloucestershire. Local craftsmen portrayed Mars Olloudios wearing a short tunic, cloak and boots. He cradled a cornucopia full of fruit while standing near a small altar. Mars Olloudius also held a patera, or small libation bowl, over the altar. The patera was a familiar object used in Roman rituals. The cornucopia and patera symbolized fertility and abundance in the Romano-Celtic religion. The dedication to Mars Olloudius was found near the capital of the Debuni at Durocornovium. The Roman town of Durocornovium is now known as Cirencester in Gloucestershire. The Debuni were a peaceful tribe who relied on farming. Their coins displayed the motifs of trees as a sign of respect to the deities of the land. The archaeological evidence confirmed Olloudius was an earth god of agriculture, fertility and prosperity. His pairing with the Roman god Mars enhanced his power over the land. Olloudius blessed his devotees with prosperity and abundant harvests. Legends of Love in Celtic Mythology on WordPress discusses the Celtic gods and goddesses of Britain, Ireland and Europe. The book, Green Man, The Gods of Sacred Trees and Forests on Amazon takes an in-depth look at the folklore and history of the woodland deities in Europe.